Wheat has been growing in Washington since the 1820s. It was brought here by early pioneers, and people milled it into flour for bread. It was first grown in Hudson's Bay Company outposts and forts.
The Hudson's Bay Company wanted to see those posts become as self-sufficient as possible. So there were efforts made to grow crops around fur trading facilities, Fort Vancouver being a key one of those.
The settlements often exported excess wheat to Europe from ports along the Washington coast. In the 1860s, more people settled in the Northwest, and they discovered that the Walla Walla area was good for growing wheat.
Wheat became one of the crops that was very possible to grow. Those miners and packers, they put down roots and started farming here. Growing wheat became something that worked.
Wheat growing spread north into the Columbia Plateau and east to the Palouse region. Early farmers harvested wheat fields with massive 32-horse combines and large crews of men.
So then the market for wheat involved putting together 200-pound bags of grain and or bags of flour. It took a lot of ingenuity to try to find a way to get this bounty we produced off to a market. First, people tried transporting by wagon. That was a difficult way. Then tramways were built.
Crews working on the tramway loaded sacks on wagons at the top of the Snake River Coulee. Those wagons then traveled down the tramway rails to warehouses and docks on the river.
And getting steamboats up the river was an interesting endeavor, too. Those steamboat operators were fearless coming up the river. It was a dangerous proposition. They made it through. And then we learned about hauling grain on the rail system. The transcontinental railroads in 1882 and 1883 changed all of that.
In the 1950s, farmers replaced horse teams with motorized equipment like tractors and single-tire trucks. Farmers could get more field work done in less time with the new equipment. New motorized combines made the harvesting process less labor-intensive. But diseases and pests still plagued the crop. Researchers at Washington State College worked to improve wheat and to find solutions to these problems.
The farmers urged professors there to get out of the classroom and spend time out seeing the real challenges that they faced.
Farmers joined together to form the Washington Association of Wheat Growers, which tries to solve problems like unfair transportation rates and unfair regulations. They formed the Washington Wheat Commission to build relationships with overseas customers and to fund research on pests, diseases, agronomic issues, and other challenges. Research on various wheat varieties also improved.
It was when Orville Vogel of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, based in Pullman, led the way with crossbreeding that then revolutionized things, because not only could you replenish the nutrients, but you could convert those nutrients into kernels of grain instead of stalks. That made 100-bushel wheat a reality in the most favored regions. But it's always been a battle to stay ahead of ever-evolving pests that could harm the grain. So that process of working to develop new technology has been really interesting.
In the 1950s, farmers began exporting wheat to Asia and the Middle East for Asian noodles and flatbreads. Whitman and Lincoln counties continue to be the top 2 wheat-growing counties in Washington and in the entire U.S.
This is a remarkable land. It's the finest wheat-producing area in the United States, if not in the world.